All right. So something else we're gonna have to do is go from just having the 3 sketches into creating an isometric drawing of it. So just another standard rule is you always want to focus on the front. That's the first one you should look at. Whenever you have the isometric sketch, you should start by drawing the front first. And whenever you have to then draw it from the sketch, you should kind of consult the front picture first. So something that should stand out to you are that you have this L, and then you have a depth change, and you have this probably what is 2 cubes just stacked on top of one another. Now, one thing that we don't know based on this image yet, or at least just based on this front image, is the L, what's the depth change? Is it the L and then that, or is it that and then the L? So we don't really know that yet. But what you can know and what you can draw, just probably for, safely as well, would be to draw the L. And let's see, so you know that you can make the L. So going up now. All right, so I have drawn this L. Now, if there's a depth change, then you might have to erase some lines, but just getting what you see, if you know that there's no depth change, getting that onto the paper is never going to be a bad idea. Now, I'm probably making it dimmer quicker than I, maybe should, but whatever. So this is the L. Now, we can kind of figure out where does this thing come from based on this. So now we know if we turn it on its top, this represents this. This not having a square means there's no depth change. So that means that there's another square this way. Because that shows that this is no depth change, and here there's no depth change. So, okay, so now we have that information. And the last thing is we know that this is actually supposed to be, oh, I went to the wrong thing. This is supposed to be too tall. So if that's the case, if we're looking at the front, we have this L, that means that there's got to be something now to like the right over here. So it's going to go this way, and remember it was too tall, so it's going to go that way and then up. So I'm going to have to erase a few lines here. And I'm going to go this way and up. So now that's where that comes from. So we have the L, and that's shown here. We have this, which is now shown by this little tower, and then that also now satisfies this depth is a depth change, so that's that. We have the straight, which is this, and then to the right of that, we have another depth change, which makes sense with this picture. Now let's see if this picture makes sense with what the side looks like. So this would be a tower of 2, no depth change, which would be this. And then this represents this square, and this represents this square, and these have a depth change. That's why there's a square separating it. So I know I had to do some erasing. Sometimes that's going to happen to you, but if you make the lines bold, this is also a relatively complicated one. So shade this in. the side dark. And that would be your image. Let's just confirm with what I made, and it's correct. All right.